We got a problem. The not-so-honorable Judge Tarpon has issued an eviction notice on my club. If the club gets shut down, so do a lot of our operations. This has to be a Jackson Duke move. He and the judge go way back. Thing is, Tarpon's corrupt and we got evidence and leaked it to the feds. They kicked off an investigation. He should be going down right now, but, well, we're gonna need someone's help. Her name's Marie, and, you'll see. Couple of quick rules. 1, let me do the talking. 2, try not to look her right in the eye. And 3, well...
What the hell are you doing here, Alain? I don't remember summoning you.
The witnesses in the case against Judge Tarpon are starting to either clam up or disappear entirely. We need to get into the witness protection business, or Tarpon's gonna continue to be a pain in our collective asses. Only thing is, we don't know who the witnesses are. Maybe you could, like, invoke the spirits or something and find out?
Yes, leave now and I will do so. I will send you their names and locations.
And my boy here will find them and keep them alive. Great. Solid. Sounds like a... Okay. You got this.
You can't leave me here. I need to get to the hospital. I can't testify against Tarpon if I'm dead. My car's over there.
it's me. Nice work keeping the witness alive. She testifies this afternoon, so Judge Tarpon won't be barking up our tree anymore. Alen out.
There seems to be a new spiritual presence in the vicinity, weakening my abilities. I placed a curse on a degenerate gambler to whom I had loaned a significant sum of money, as is my business, and who has now fallen behind on his payments towards said loan. I declare that if he did not repay what he borrowed by midnight last night, that he would drown inside his own limousine. That night has come and gone, and the man still lives. I don't know why. You are Alen's partner, and I have a partnership with Alen, which means we are a team. And we cannot have our enemies and those indebted to us believing my powers are waning. We will root out the cause, but first, we need to deal with this. The gambler's car must end up at the bottom of the bayou. Find it and pick him up, posing as the driver. I'm sure you can figure out the rest.
All right, there he is. For once, you picking me up in a good mood. I'm up 900, baby. Luck was a lady today. I know, you're gonna lecture me about how I'm not really up considering past losses, but perspective's not very high on my priority list. Right now, Hector, we're gonna celebrate. The usual cheap sex and expensive drinks. You know the place. Let's go there. You sure it's just the right way? Kidnapped in my own car. Help!
has come to pass. Let that be a lesson to those who would doubt me.
यस 25,000 जीत गया, वो भी 5 मिनट के लूडो गेम खेल के। सपना नहीं है, सच बता रहा हूं भाई। जूपी पे खेलो लूडो जैसे मैं खेलता हूं।
Once again, my powers are faltering. Most distressing. I must discover the cause, but a more pressing matter vies for my attention. One of my former strongmen has proven to be as loyal as he is intelligent. He's working for Jackson Duke now. I swore that he would burn for his treachery. But a week has passed, and the traitor has yet to spontaneously combust. Find him, and make my prophecy come true. Once again, my powers are faltering. Most distressing. I must discover the cause, but a more pressing matter vies for my attention. One of my former strongmen has proven to be as loyal as he is intelligent. He's working for Jackson Duke now. I swore that he would burn for his treachery. But a week has passed, and the traitor has yet to spontaneous... Once again, my powers are faltering. Most distressing. I must discover the cause, but a more pressing matter vies for my attention. One of my former strongmen has proven to be as loyal as he is intelligent. He's working for Jackson Duke now. I swore that he would burn for his treachery. But a week has passed, and the traitor has yet to spontaneously combust. Find him, and make my prophecy come true. Once again, my powers are faltering. Most distressing. I must... Now I must focus on finding the cause of my waning abilities. I have discovered that the forces disturbing the spirits which okay, look, I'm not a voodoo queen, okay? I'm just a performance art major from Southern California, but I've got money, and I use that money to pay people to make my curses come true. I mean, I'm a loan shark, okay? So, idiots started fearing me, and that's great, cool, but now not so cool, because there are some freaky shenanigans happening around here. Okay, my two guys, my, doom makers as I called them, they stopped answering my calls. Now, I figured they just flaked out on me, but last night, I saw them in a dream. I saw their freaking bodies all bloated and puffy, and then they came alive and started dancing the robot. No idea what the hell it meant, but it was terrifying. Could you, like, go to where I saw the bodies in my dream and just, like, make sure it was just a dream?
I gotta find a way to make this right. Anyway, thank you for your help. I'll be in touch soon.
25,000 जीत गया, वो भी 5 मिनट के लूडो गेम खेल के। सपना नहीं है, सच बता रहा हूं भाई। जूपी पे खेलो लूडो जैसे मैं खेलता हूं और जीतो लाखों तक के कैश प्राइज।
It's Marie. So, I dug around on the webs and I found a spirit torment forum. They said the best way to kick unwanted ghouls and ghosts out of your life is to use a mix of 5 different spices to conjure the spirits. Fabulous, right? Wrong. Cause I go to the Nola Do shop for the spices and, it happened again. They are everywhere. Even the cops are involved. They got the streets closed off. But they're scared and they won't go up against these things. You gotta get me out of here. So, the very helpful people on the forum are saying you've got to use the spices to summon the Loa of the dead and ask for forgiveness. Okay, fine. According to Hoodoo Child 420, the best place to do that is a cemetery. Right, duh. Makes sense, but what the hell is a Loa of the dead? I mean, that sounds creepy. Could you just make sure the place is clean of those things before I do this? Whoa, is that... But I haven't even used the spices yet. Do you think that... Okay.
You cannot pretend to have power you do not have. You cannot mock that which is not yours. Promise me that you will trust your own power.
Right, but see, problem is, I don't have any power.
All people have power, but they must find it within.
Done. Deal. And no more scary dreams and ghouls coming after me? Right?
No more. Now go.
Phew. Woza. Well, okay. With that taken care of, thanks. You've earned my loyalty, dude. My resources and my kick-assery are yours. Now, what do you say we get back to taking over this town?
Glad you made it, man. Someone needs our help, and, you're gonna love this. I'd like you to meet Bradford Miles. The Bradford Miles. Grace Note himself.
Been years since anyone's called me that.
So what can my partner and I help you with?
A couple of lowlifes are about to sell a recently stolen item of particular interest to me.
So, we break up the meeting and retrieve the item. Sounds easy enough. Let's go. Mr. Miles doesn't play much anymore, mostly a producer now. Donut Miller, Allison Cat, Papa Charlie, all on his label. On the B-side, he's also a big player in Nola's, burgle industry. Offense. Nothing moves in this town without him knowing. Like this item we're after. According to him, it could be priceless. Should have taken those anti-diarrhea.